Hello friends, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Dan. Hey, you viewer, listener, Merry Christmas! Or to those of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. And to those of you who don't, I wish you a wonderful, restful weekend. And I hope you all enjoy the football on Boxing Day. Alright, see you later. Only joking, I am doing a Chelsea news video. This is a Chelsea news video. I also just caught my new Fender Stratocaster Pro in the background there. It doesn't look like it's real, does it? It looks like it's a picture. That is a real guitar. This is a real guitar. Yeah, I bought myself a Christmas present. Anyway, welcome back to Chelsea News. Lots to talk about. I do want to talk about Dest from Barcelona. I'm going to read you a little article or certain excerpts from an article to talk about him as a potential fullback option that can play on both sides. Of course, Barcelona want Chelsea players. We can also talk about a little bit on Mendy going to AFCON. And of course, we're playing Villa on Boxing Day. Big game, difficult game. We've got a lot of difficult games coming up, so there's a lot to get into. Get comfortable, subscribe if you want to. Make sure you turn all notifications on should you subscribe, and I'd urge you all to drop a like. Let's see if we can get over 2,500 likes for Christmas. Hey? Come on, it's Christmas. Huh? Alright then, let's get into it. So, yeah, let's start off with AFCON. Edouard Mendy, unsurprisingly, has been called up to the Senegalese squad, and we know that Hakim Ziyech has not. I spoke about that on the previous video. I think that my latest upload prior to this one. Good news. Understatedly, that word? Or it is understated how good the news is. God, that's a bit cryptic. About Hakim Ziyech staying. I think he will be useful. I think if he starts, like, any kind of level of game, you know he can do something. He's scored big goals in big games before. His work rate's better. I'm not going to reiterate everything I've said in previous videos, but it is positive news that Ziyech is staying when AFCON is on. But yeah, unsurprisingly, Edouard Mendy will go. He's a hero over there. I know when he goes to play with his national team, you see all like locals like chase the bus and chant his name. I think probably largely because he's just won the Champions League and it's just a wonderful story. And you wouldn't want to rob him of that. So, you know, we're going to be happy he's going to play for his country. And, yeah, it is what it is, man. We're going to have to play with Kepa Arrizabalaga, but Kepa is playing well. Thomas Tuchel has just been waxing lyrical about him post-match in the Carabao Cup after Chelsea's 2-0 win against Brentford. And he's like, yeah, we're so happy with him. We're cultivating, we have been, he didn't say this. This is me saying this now. Chelsea have been cultivating a really good feeling when it comes to Kepa. Ever since Tuchel came in, he knows his place, and that sounds really derogatory, but he knows his standings in the club at the moment. He's very much number 2, but he knows he's very much a good number 2 that the club trusts to come in at high-profile games and high-profile moments. And not only that, he recognises himself as a penalty specialist that actually trumps first-team goalkeeper Edouard Mendy. There's something to be said about that. He knows he's specialist and the best at something, you know, and like to the point where you actually sub Mendy off and bring him on for penalties. With, of course, Edouard Mendy's blessing, like in the Super Cup, you know, he bigged him up. They're a team, and it's just a feel-good factor. So anyway, the inevitable has come to pass. Edouard Mendy is going to AFCON, and we will see Kepa in his absence. So, you know, big up Kepa, and we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. So, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be jumping into an article from The Express to give you a little bit of information of Sergiño Dest, who, of course, is Barcelona's fullback. In fact, let me just quickly look at his transfer marks while I'm talking to you to find out how much he's got left on his contract, because that is important. It gives you context in terms of, you know, what he's going to cost. So he goes to 2025. His contract. He's 21 years old. And he plays ultimately at right back, but he can play at left back as well. And his value, according to Transfermarkt, has only gone up since he's gone to Barcelona. His preferred position is right back. He can play left back, and he can also play right winger. So he's quite an offensive player. He's American, so the first thing you think is, oh, he could be friends with Christian Pulisic. If that would help. Maybe if they play down the same flank, they'll have a good chemistry. Chelsea are eager to strengthen their defence in the January transfer window and have identified Barcelona's Sergiño Dest as potential reinforcement to the wing-back positions. True. So we all know the situation, guys. We have two amazingly strong wing-backs in Ben Chilwell and Reece James when both fit, and the drop-off when both of them are absent is quite big. Of course, we've played like Callum Hudson-Odoi quite a lot at right wing-back, and he's not been awful there. So he's certainly better at right wing-back than he is at left wing-back, which to me makes very little sense because his preferred position is left wing. Hey, I don't understand it, but that's just his performances so far. The Blues are hoping to contend for the Premier League title. I'm not going to read you all of this. It talks about Dest. The £30 million rated US international can play on either side of the pitch, allowing him to get plenty of minutes when Chilwell returns to fitness. At just the age of 21 years old, he can be a long-term option out wide for Thomas Tuchel. Maybe like, because he can play in the front three as well, wide, more right winger. He's very versatile. Tuchel seemingly likes these players that can play all over the gaff. Dest is certainly one of those. I played with him on FIFA. I think I got his inform card. His inform card. I've seen him like once for Barcelona. I'm personally not going to pretend like I've watched him very closely because that would be unfair and that would be lying. I know he's a highly rated player. He's a Barcelona player. I don't think he's like a top Galactica. I don't think he's as good as either Ben Chilwell or Reece James. But maybe that's why he'd be the sort of perfect, affordable signing. That's an alternative. Also, at the ripe young age of 21 years old, you'd bank on him getting better. Like surely, why not? Why not? Just entering his 20s, already played for Barcelona. Nothing wrong with that, provided his injury record's not awful. I think he'd be okay. I don't think he's got a particularly bad injury. I'm looking at him, his data now. I think he's fine. He's got 4 appearances in the Champions League this season and 12 in La Liga, so clearly he's playing a lot as well. Let's read on. Bayern Munich also like the Dutchman. He's Dutch? Oh, maybe he is. Yeah, okay, so he's born in Holland, that's probably hence the name, and so he's dual citizenship, God that's easy for me to say, United States and Netherlands. Okay, cool, that's kind of cool. And Barcelona may not want to sell until the summer. The Catalan Giants need to sell players to raise money, true, in order to register Nou Camp-bound Ferran Torres. Yes, of course they've just agreed a big deal to sign Ferran Torres from Man City for around £50 million or £47 million. I think it's €55 million, which is probably about right. He wants to go there. He's a good player. He's proven he can score goals for City as a striker. He's proven he can score goals for Spain. He could be the talisman up front, like over the likes of Morata and stuff like that. So really, he could be a really important figure for a Spanish giant like Barcelona to have up front. But we're not here to talk about Barcelona. So they're looking to, sign Ferran Torres and register him, so they'll have to make money. Express Sport looks at players Chelsea could include in a cash plus player swap. Now, usually, to entice Xavi's Barca to do business midway through the season, of course, next month in January. This is talking about signing Sergiño Dest next month. Okay, and this is obviously the Express making some sort of speculations, generalizations. Cesar Azpilicueta, I'm gonna give my own opinion rather than reading the excerpts from the article here, but Cesar Azpilicueta, of course, being heavily linked to Barcelona in the summer for a free transfer, which I've spoken about on multiple occasions on the channel. It would make sense for Barcelona. Spanish guy, Chelsea's captain, plays in the Spanish team again, national side. Is a very good professional, slightly weaker league, La Liga. He'd be able to, express himself more. He'd get more money and a longer contract out there, so you could say it makes sense for him. Swan song out in his homeland, but reports suggest that he does want to fight for Chelsea, probably because he loves Chelsea and probably because his family are all settled in Cobham. So Cesar Azpilicueta is an option. He'll have 6 months left on his deal, so I'm not sure how much he'd knock off Dest as a 32-year-old. Fullback at a push, 10 million, surely at a push, right? Just for the convenience. Hakim Ziyech, of course, has been linked with Barcelona, and he has been linked heavily with Dortmund. Personally, I see him doing quite well at Dortmund. He's 28, going on 29 though, Ziyech. He doesn't really necessarily suit the Dortmund model in terms of them buying a player that's close to 30 for presumably like a big sum. Do you know what I mean? So maybe Barcelona does make more sense. They'll probably be more inclined to buy slightly older players. It's closer to their model than it is Dortmund buying like younger players. Ziyech does want to play well for Chelsea and do well, but, you know, I spoke to George Benson about this yesterday, the day before, and we spoke at length about Hakim Ziyech, and we were saying that he's the kind of player that could do well, but you would not be surprised at all if he was the first one out the door at the same time. Personally, I love him. He was actually, like, him and Havertz, out of all those transfers, I think in that window where we bought all those players, I love Ben Chilwell, I adore Thiago Silva, but when we bought them, I was like thinking Havertz and, I think Havertz is just an amazing get because everyone in football wanted him, but I thought Ziyech was such an understated signing. He's so classy, and he's so talented that he could do a Bruno Fernandes for us, I was thinking. And I haven't completely like poured cold water on that. I think he can still do bits. I think largely it's this Chelsea team and how we work that has not been working in the favour for the attackers. And it's not a criticism of Tuchel, he's worked wonders, but it's just sort of how everything's fallen into place. But you wouldn't be surprised at all if Hakim Ziyech did go to Barcelona, and who knows, maybe that sees Sergiño Dest go the other way. Now, the final one here that the Express is citing is Andreas Christensen. I don't think this would happen. I do think Barcelona will be interested in Christensen. He's 25. He's got high profile now, especially after what Denmark have been doing as a national side, not just in the Euros, but in their World Cup qualifiers. Absolutely incredible. High profile, loads of experience in the Bundesliga, at international level, and of course Premier League, and a Champions League winner. He's won plenty of stuff, and he's basically like a real good get at the moment. Of course, his contract runs out in the summer, so it would be another 6-month thing. I personally think Rudiger is still going to go. I spoke about that at length in yesterday's video, so do go check that out if you haven't seen it. I do still think Andreas Christensen will sign. You know, there's recent reports that he's fired his own father as his agent. Presumably that is positive news for Chelsea, maybe? Or maybe that's to find a club elsewhere. Still, I still have a gut feeling that Christensen will extend with Chelsea, so I can't really see that happening. But if we end the video and talk about Dest a little bit more, he looks like a good option, man. A 21-year-old who can play on either side. That could be a strong rotational option for backup. And when you're backup for both sides, then you're likely to get more game time, especially at a club like Chelsea that are often fighting in 5 fronts, 6 if you can. Concluded the Super Cup this season. Only 6 trophies up for grabs, which is absolutely mental. And had we had the Community Shield, that'd be 7 as well, which is just absolutely insane. But yeah, you know, he looks good, man. He's his stats are pretty good. Like, and he's playing for a struggling Barcelona team. I'm looking at the positions played now: right back, left midfield, right winger. So it's literally like zedding all over the place. But left mid is essentially left wing back, and right back you can play right wing back, especially if you played right wing. So it's just a hybrid of the two. Let me know what you guys think, though. I'll be keen to hear what you guys think about Dest. To those of you who have watched him more than myself, I bow down to your superior knowledge, and I'm interested in learning about him. So could you please all comment down below your thoughts on this potential transfer? And that's it for today's Chelsea news. I will have Christmas Day off, but of course I'll be returning for Boxing Day because Chelsea play a football match, a difficult football match against Aston Villa. Merry Christmas again to everyone who celebrates it, and Merry Weekend to those who don't. Appreciate all your likes. Let's see if we can get to 2,500, and thank you to all new subscribers. All right, look forward to seeing you soon. Enjoy the football. Peace.